I'm at a loss for words, y'all. I really, really, really. I know what I want to say, but I don't know how I want to say it. Just damn, damn. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. And today we're gonna talk some football, Houston Texans football. We're gonna talk about the Indianapolis Colts coming into NRG and putting the ass whooping on the Houston Texans. We're gonna break it down. Before we do that, I need y'all to do me a favor. You know it's hard enough being a Texas fan, so y'all do me a favor. Y'all hit them, go in the description. Y'all hit them links in the description. Follow me on social media. If y'all follow me on social media this past week, I went live for the first time on IG. So, hey, more of that gonna be coming. I don't know for sure if it's gonna happen this week. I can't promise you that. But hey, you gotta follow me. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. The links in the description. There's other links in the description. Y'all hit the links. And like I've been saying for the past couple of videos, the goal is to reach 5K by the end of the year. We need to reach 5K. I got something very special planned for a couple of my subscribers if we reach 5K. So like, share, subscribe. Get your homeboys, your homegirls, your brothers, your sisters, your partners, everybody. Get them subscribed to the channel. Put them on game. Lace them up on game with the channel. And get them subscribed. We're going to get to 5K. When we get to 5K, I got something very special for y'all. Because, hey, we need something special right now. Because it's hard being a Texas fan. Like I said, the Houston Texans fall to the Indianapolis Colts 30-0. The very first time the Houston Texans have been shut out at home in a regular season game. We've been shut out at home against the Chiefs in the playoffs, but the very first time they got shut at home in the regular season game. And before I do any of this breaking down, I have to start this video off like this. I want to send my sincerest apologies to former offensive coordinator George Godsey, to former offensive line coach Mike Devlin, to former running backs Alfred Blue and Lamar Miller. Yes, that same Lamar Miller. And also, begrudgingly enough, I have to send a special apology to Brock Osweiler. Because as much as we got on them and bashed them over the years, it has nothing to do with what I just seen. Nothing. That is the worst offense I've ever seen. The most horrific offense in the history of football, in my personal opinion. I've watched football a long time. That is the worst offense I've ever seen. You really don't understand. I can't fathom. Do y'all know that this offense is dead last in yards rushing, dead last in yards passing, dead last yards period, dead last in points? This offense averaged 2 yards per play. 2 yards per play, not 2 yards per rush, 2 yards per play. That's how much they averaged throughout the whole season. That's how bad this offense is. Just horrifically bad. But let's break down the numbers. Let's get into the actual numbers. Let's get into the actual stats. Like I said, the Houston Texans fall 30-0 to the Indianapolis Colts. Tyrod Taylor was 5 of 13 with a completion percentage of 38.5, had 45 yards, averaged 3.5 yards per attempt. No touchdowns, 1 pick, sacked twice, a quarterback rating of 16.5. He was so bad they had to throw David Mills back in the game. He didn't do no better. He was 6 of 14 for 42.9% with 49 yards, averaging again a whopping 3.5 yards per pass attempt. No touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked twice with a quarterback rating of 52.4. Rex Burkhead, 8 rushes, 30 yards. Brandon Cooks had 1 rush, 16 yards. Brandon Cooks targeted 3 times, had 6 targeted 6 times with 3 catches for 38 yards. Farrell Brown targeted 5 times, 4 catches for 23 yards and a fumble. Before I even get into the rest of it, I want to bring up Farrell Brown. Farrell Brown fumbles on the third play, the second drive of the game. Farrell Brown fumbles. And then later on in the game, in the second half, he catches a play for the first down. I think it was a 12-yard play for the first down. His ass get the hopping up and get up and point. If you don't sit your ass down, y'all been playing like hot boy garbage all fucking game, and you gonna sit up here. What is you doing? Seriously, What is you doing? You was getting your ass kicked all game long, and that's what you want to do? And then come to find out that he up here trash talking Darius Leonard. Man, if you don't sit your ass down so damn well, come on, man. Like, seriously. Come. You out your rabbit ass mind for that, homeboy. You really is. You really is. It made me lose my train of thought just that quick. Kamakucha hit. I know I said Gruger Trio. We know his name is Gruger here. We call him Gruger Trio. He set a Texans record with the most tackles in a Texas game. He had 20 tackles in the game. The most tackles, the franchise record for most tackles in the game. So at least somebody did something of note yesterday's game. Now to the Indianapolis Colts, Carson Wentz was 16 for 22 for 72.7%, had 158 yards, averaging 7.2 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, no pick, sack one time for a quarterback rating of 107.8. Jonathan Taylor had 32 rushes, 143 yards. It'd be nice to have Jonathan Taylor in the team, huh? Averaging 4.5 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. He had a fumble that he lost, but for the most part, he played well. Did he lose that fumble? I don't remember us recovering the fumble. Michael Pittman had 8 targets, caught 6 catches for 77 yards. Hines was targeted 4 times, had 3 catches for 32 yards. T.Y. Finally, we were able to shut T.Y. for some strange reason. I mean, T.Y. is like 30-some odd years old, but still had 2 catches, targeted twice for 2 catches for 22 yards. The defense didn't play bad. I know the score doesn't indicate that with 31 points. But when the offense is so bad, like when Tyrod Taylor throws a pick on the first play of the game, it's 5 seconds in the game, Tyrod Taylor throws a pick. He throws a pick because he's trying to throw the ball out of bounds, apparently, like he did in the Miami game. And he throws a pick, and I'm sitting there like and Tyrod acting like it wasn't no pick. I'm like, as soon as the ball left his hand, I said, that's an interception. Why? He could have beat the man off. He could have beat the man around the corner. Tyrod's a mobile quarterback, so this whole thing that Tyrod's not running, I don't get it. And I'm gonna put it to you like this: for both David Culley to have the audacity, him and what's dude name? Chris Conley to have the audacity to be fussing and yelling and going back and forth arguing with Reed last week to the point that Reed had to sit out the game last week because you got your panties in the damn bunch. As bad as this offense is, you should be talking to nobody. You should be arguing with nobody but the damn offense. That's what you and Tim Kelly to be arguing with each other because it's a combination of a lackluster talent. You don't have talent team. We all know this. There's no real talent team. Brandon Cook is a talented receiver, but at the same time, he's a one-trick pony. He's a deep threat receiver. Let's call it spade. He's a deep threat receiver who you can give the ball. He's a guy if you give the ball to, and like I said, the difference between him and Will Fuller. Will Fuller beats you pre-pass. He's a guy. Cooks is a guy who's dangerous with the ball in his hand. So you really got to get the ball in his hand. But he's more so known for his speed. But he needs a A-list type quarterback, or at the very least, a above average type quarterback, average to above average type quarterback, like you had in Jared Goff when he was in L.A. But you had a bomb offensive coordinator, offensive mind, and what's dude name McVay. Sean McVay. So you had a bomb offensive mind with Sean McVay, and you had a half decent quarterback with Goff. Had a good offensive line. You also had Todd Gurley playing well at that point in time too. That's not the case here. In New Orleans he had Drew Brees. In New England he had Tom Brady. And then even last year, at the very least, he had Deshaun Watson. So that's not the case right here. So he doesn't maximize his talent. Larry Tunsil's not playing right now, so you don't maximize his talent. So there's no talent on this offense. Then you comp that with a head coach who is an offensive-minded head coach who used to coach receivers, who last year was the worst receiver corps in the NFL, and then when he was in Kansas City, was the only team that didn't catch a touchdown from a receiver. Sidebar. Do you know that yesterday's game that Brandon Cooks was the only receiver who caught passes? Also, another sidebar that Brandon Cooks didn't catch his first catch into the fourth quarter till you brought Davis Mills in. You went 3.5 quarters with a receiver not catching a pass. David Culley used to be a receivers coach of the only receiver corps in the NFL back in 2010, 2011, whenever it was, who did catch a touchdown pass. Interesting. Those parallels kind of match up, don't they? It kind of, your past kind of dictates, your past kind of dictates your future in this standpoint. We can't really be surprised because we know this already. Interesting. And then Tim Kelly. I've been telling y'all this when Tim Kelly got hired by Bill O'Brien. Again, this is a guy who learned how to cook from Bill O'Brien. So evidently, he's going to run a Bill O'Brien type scheme. Bill O'Brien bringing him in to make an offense coordinator wasn't going to change a damn thing. Come on. So we know that what we see is what we see. So they have been trying to run this generic-ass New England Patriot offense with these fake New England people trying to run the front office. It's just an absolute mess. You don't have no talent, and you run a lackluster-ass offense with lackluster-ass talent. This is what you get. The worst offense in the NFL, and then David Culley and Chris Conley have the nerve and the audacity to be fussing at somebody on their side of the ball actually do their job. The Texans defense actually do their job. Again, Lovie Smith is doing a good job. Lovie Smith is giving a whole bunch of generic brand items, and he's making the best of it. He done threw together a meal. You done bought generic seasoning, generic soda. You done brought a greater value, all type of stuff. And he's able to throw together a decent enough meal that ain't nobody complaining. But the thing is, they on the field all game long. They are on the field all game long, and they don't have a chance. Eventually, the dam breaks. You throw a pick with 5 seconds left, with 5 seconds to go in the game, 5 seconds to start the game, rather. They score a touchdown. You fumble the next drive. They stop them. And the defense basically holds serve throughout the rest of the first half up into the final drive, and they get another touchdown, and you go down 14-0. You should have been down, theoretically, you really should have been down 24 to 21 points in the first half. That's really what the score should have been. The score should have been either 24 or 21-0 in the first half. That wasn't the case. It was only 14. You're still in the game. But then the dam broke. Because the defense on the field all game. Because the offense can't muster up no damn first downs. They can't get across midfield. Tyrod Taylor could turn over the ball. So we didn't got to the point that, hey, we would rather see Davis Mills. We'd rather see Davis Mills. Now, this is a Hopkins jersey. Don't get confused. Don't get twisted. But we would rather see Davis Mills than see Tyrod Taylor because this ain't it. I don't think neither one of them it, but this ain't it. And it gets harder and harder and harder to watch this pathetic performance. It just simply does, y'all. Like, I'm a diehard Texas fan. Been here since 2002. Where I'm from, there was nothing, when I was in school, there was not that many Texans fans. There was one other person who was a real Texan fan when I was in school. When the Texans got to the playoffs and they got JJ and Andre and everybody out there, woo, 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 JJ up again, 27th season, I see Texan fans everywhere. But I was there in the beginning where there wasn't really that many Texan fans. And one thing about the Texans, even though I don't live in Houston, I live outside Houston, that stadium was always full. It was, 70,000, however many thousand people be in that stadium, rocking hard. They was lucky if it was 500 people in there yesterday. There's more people in my living room than there was in that game yesterday. That's how bad it is. And if Cal and the rest of McNair's don't understand that you can't even give these tickets away, you could give these tickets to a homeless shelter. They giving them back. Nobody want to see this at all. Nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see this lackluster offense coached by this lackluster coaching staff outside of Lovie Smith and the defense. And then going to have the nerve that once again another guy gets a healthy scratch. Zach Cunningham, he's a repeat offender because he's already been disciplined by this regime. And we can simply say, oh, he missed a COVID test. Everybody's like, oh, he missed a COVID test. I'm okay with this bitch because he missed a COVID test. I don't even care. I really don't care because it just goes on the long list of things. It's just like, when a quarterback leads the league in passing, and you say he has a great season, but you go in there, you go and you look and you see, this one game here, they got blown out. He got a whole bunch of garbage time stats. He kind of passed the stats. Nobody cared about that because it goes into the long list of he played well throughout the whole season, even though week 13 they got blew out. He had garbage time passing numbers, or passing stats, but throughout the whole season he still led the league in passing. It doesn't matter that in this instance, maybe if he really did break a rule, maybe he really is maybe the organization is quote unquote justified for taking disciplinary actions. It just goes on a long list of things that they've been doing all year that's been sideways and subpar. And to the point, I think that Zach Cunningham just don't want to be here. He just doesn't want to be here. He got his bread, he got his money, but he don't want to be here. This ain't what he really signed up for. Kind of like Deshaun. This ain't what I signed up for. When I signed, this ain't what I really signed up for. Not this right here. Not Jack doing what he doing. Not Nick doing what he doing. Not David Culley. And again, I've been saying this from the point. David Culley's a figurehead. David Culley's not who they really want. They hired a minority because they needed to hire a minority because of everything that was going on with the Deshaun Watson situation, and they needed somebody basically to take the bulk, to take the blame, because you got people out there talking about David Culley instead of talking about Jack, Cal, and Nick. Those are the guys who need to be blamed, especially more so Jack and Cal. Nick got hit to kind of towards the tail end, but he's part of the reason why Deshaun and the rest of us fans feel the way we feel, because we like it's going to be the same old movie. It's going to be this whole Patriot thing, continue, and it's just sickening. It's just sickening. And you go out there and you see Jonathan Taylor go out there and rush for 143 yards while Black Ock doing whatever it is he's doing. Like, you really drafted Black Ock one pick above Jonathan Taylor, and with maybe like 7 picks above the person I want, Trayvon Diggs, who leads the league in interceptions. Been saying this for a while. Imagine this defense is a very opportunistic defense that turns the ball, forces turnovers damn near every game. If I'm not mistaken, they're top 5 in turnovers and turnovers forced. If you add in a corner like him, what this defense would be. I'm not saying they're the 85 Bears. I'm not saying they're the 2000 Ravens, the 02 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're even the 2019, 2020 San Francisco 49ers. But what I'm saying is this defense could be decent. And who knows, if you would have had a Trayvon Diggs, or especially if you have a Jonathan Taylor, I think that maybe Deshaun Watson feels a little bit different. But it's a conversation for another day, to be honest. I'm just speculating. It's a conversation for another day. But the thing is, it is bad. Just bad. And the defense doesn't play bad. They just are on the field too much. Bad decision after bad decision. This game just basically puts everything into perspective. Tyrod Taylor needs to sit down. David Mills needs to play. We are right there staring the top 3 pick in the draft in the face. Woohoo! Tank Commanders. We want a tank. Yay! Embrace the tank. All that good fine stuff. But at the end of the day, what I'm watching is sickening. It is. And watching the stands and watching that nobody's there, it's sickening. Going online just to look and see there's tickets for $5. It's sickening. And I'll be like, you know what? I could go. It's $5. It costs more than point to buy a ticket, but you know what? Do I really want to see this shit in person? Do I really want to see this in person? No, I don't want to see this in person. No, absolutely not. I don't want no parts of this. No parts of watching in person. It's bad enough I got watch on TV. It's bad enough that I force myself to watch it every Sunday. I've been saying this for as a Texas fan. It's like you secretly hate yourself because you put yourself through this misery week in and week out. You know exactly what it's the definition of insanity. Watching, expecting, or doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We are definitely insane. We are insane because we expect this team to give us a good product. We expect them to win football games. We expect them to be, at the very least, respectable. And they do what? Slap and spit in our face. That's exactly what they do. Exactly. And it's bad. And it makes me mad. It's irritating. It puts me at a loss for words because how much I like football. How much I like this team. How much everybody that ever met me knows how much I like this team. That's one thing they associate with me is the Texans. And to see this is embarrassing. Straight up. And it makes you want to... It just makes you want to just I don't know. It's just so bad. And I would never thought I would feel this way about my team. I mean, we've had, like I said, I gotta apologize to the Brock Osweiler's and the Lamar Millers and the Alpha Blues and the George Godsey's and even the Mike Devlins. We gotta apologize to those people because we talked about how bad they was, and I've said that Brock Osweiler made me not like football in 2016, even though the Texans went to the playoffs. But this right here, ain't nothing comparing to it, man. Ain't nothing comparing to it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.